And we are live right on the dot. 7:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the CLE and in the Carolinas. I forget Raleigh, Tim?
Yep.
Raleigh market, and Caleb, wherever the heck you are these days. I don't even know. Trying to get to Florida. That's the last I heard of you.
Yep, still doing that.
Anyways, it is good to have you guys. Thanks for joining me. April 26th, 2020 edition, the Sunday Conversation, the SMT podcast. Today, I think what we'll do is we'll treat it like an open forum. There's no necessary topic that we have to discuss. There is something that keeps coming up in some of my recent videos. It is merger related as the networks kind of merge together. Fresh off the news that T-Mobile is giving bad news to some Sprint customers. So here's the basics of it. T-Mobile customers have so far kind of been, without any type of help when it comes to the network. They're kind of like the redheaded stepchild as of right now. They haven't seen any of the network benefits of what's going on with the merger. The Sprint customers have been accessing pieces and parts of the T-Mobile network at a pretty expeditious rate. Like, it's been happening pretty much weekly. We're getting updates and changes to the network integration process. So you have that thing is going on, but then there's the network side. When it comes to devices that are connecting to it, there are compatibility issues from all of the 5G devices from last year. So essentially what I'm trying to say is there are customers that are disgruntled, that are Sprint customers, that just bought or leased devices from Sprint. Most of them are leases from what I understand. Like a large portion are people that have either an LG V50, a OnePlus 7 5G, OnePlus 7 Pro 5G.
Yeah, that'd be the Pro.
And then the S10 Plus 5G. Those three devices, customers, I don't want to say they're left in the dark, but they are going to be slightly inconvenienced, but T-Mobile's helping them. T-Mobile is basically giving them an S20 at no additional cost. If your bill is $10 or more on that device, they're going to charge you $10 a month for the next 18 months on that lease. Your bill stays the same. Your plan stays the same. Your features are the same. Tidal, Hulu, whatever, everything you got from Sprint is essentially the same, except your lease may have just gotten cheaper. So if you were paying $20 a month on lease, you're now paying $10 on an S20, which is a brand new phone, first of all. Second of all, it's future-proof. It's going to have standalone compatibility, which your last year flagship does not. And it's also going to give you full network access on the new merged network.
Can you guys hear me okay, Tim?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I can't, for some reason, the StreamYard does not allow me to turn on my video camera because it says I can't find a camera.
That's not good.
That's okay, at least you got the voice.
Yeah, so, hey, big shout out to Gene. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Let the floodgates open, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. So, yeah, there were a couple of people that were kind of talking about the topic. The comment section was flooded. The worst I could say about it, honestly, Tim, is it's just an inconvenience that you have to turn on your phone and get a new one, go through that step. That's all I could say. Like, I would rather an S20 than last year's version of the first generation 5G phones. The X50 modem was cool at the time, but knowing what the X55 can do, in being that it's NSA and SA as well, knowing that you're going to have full compatibility with band 41 LTE and 5G and band 71 LTE and 5G, all that's your future proof, like for the next couple of years. I can't say that about the phones from last year. They already require an upgrade, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there has been some issues with the X50 modem chipset. There's been a lot of issues. So
sure. I almost feel like they're doing people a favor. If you're looking at it. Thanks for the super sticker, Matt. Appreciate you.
And for the first time, T-Mobile's kind of going in a different direction. They want you to have a phone that supports all bands, not just it's 2466. So they want you to have the best network experience as possible. And they're trying to do it without raising customers' bills, which I think is above and beyond. I honestly wasn't expecting them to do it.
Well, the fact that if you pay $10 or more, for your lease, you're still just going to pay $10. And they're giving you an S20, $1,000 phone, right? So you're not losing value. Yeah, they're going to put you back on another 18 months, but I mean, you were on a subpar network before that wasn't even national. Honestly, if we're going to be truthful about it. So you're getting an upgraded network, you're getting an upgraded device. The only thing I could say is just the slight inconvenience of you having to get rid of your old phone and go through the setup process, and transfer and all your information and all that, whatever.
And that's easy.
Yeah, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I'd say the worst thing about it is just going to be the drive to a store that's open, or sending it in or whatever.
Well, starting May 1st, we'll be 80% open and operational. By May 15th, we should be about 95%. So only locations that aren't reopening are malls.
What's up, Carlito?
Hey, everybody. It's Slow Cooker Sunday today. Hey, everybody. So we're going to get Dumb and Dumber.
You got to do the Pam Shuffle, bro.
Man.
Do the Pam Shuffle.
Oh, man.
All right, we got a question from Cesar with the $5 super chat. Thanks, man. How will Sprint contact us about first-gen 5G phones? I contact Sprint. They said I don't need to upgrade my old generation 5G phones. Well, Cesar, what I would say is it's probably going to have to happen by August. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is, from what I understand, I heard they're bricking the phones. I know it's just rumor, but they will absolutely be bricking those phones. So if that happens, then yeah, it's going to have to happen sooner or later.
I've heard that from my inside source at Sprint too. They are going to start breaking the phones. They're going to start blacklisting IMEIs.
And once that happens, it's a Wi-Fi only device. So you trade it in, you get yourself the S20. I don't know what it would cost to get you a Plus.
It's the same thing that happened with the Note 7, bro. Same thing. When they started blacklisting IMEI on the people who didn't want to return.
Yeah. So, I mean, the text message is already getting sent out. So if you've already received a message or an email, for those of you out there that have, then we're just, I don't know, expect it shortly. The more and more the network moves along in integration and, market to market as things are changing, it's more likely to affect you. So hopefully sooner, rather than later, they'll reach out to you. You go to a location and, you get that switcherooski. MT Houston, Texas, with the customary $10 super chat. Thank you for that, sir. Appreciate you. Good to have you on, man. MT Houston, Texas, he's been getting amazing speeds on AT&T. So you guys know I just did like the Speed with Sneed episode, and I mean AT&T was killing it, man. It's so fast over here. I mean, pretty much. I mean, it's weird to get something under 100 megabits. It's so fast over here. They've got the added bandwidth with band 14. They added 30 to a lot of sites. All that new access makes it so fast. So when he shows his speed test on his YouTube channel, shout out to MT Houston, Texas. If you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, go ahead and do that. He's getting like 200 plus megs. And
that's what I saw in one of his videos too. Is 250 at some of his peaks.
It's crazy,
bro. There you go. I can't even load your video, bro, on my phone with the T-Mobile SIM.
Oh no.
At least put on 480p, bro.
The AT&T speed is great down here in Southern Ohio as well. It's really good.
Yeah, it is phenomenal. The upload left a lot to be desired. As I was doing my testing, I'm impressed by the download. What is that noise? What was that?
I think it was Carlos.
No, it's the stupid damn holder, bro. The automatic stupid holder.
Yeah.
One of those motorized ones.
Yeah, the upload, not great. Honestly, T-Mobile's uploads are really good over here. For the most part, everything's over 20, 30 megs. So I've always really liked the T-Mobile network experience for uploading. I don't really upload from the T-Mobile SIM that I use. I'm just kind of used to using, the T-Mobile one. Verizon's really fast here too. The networks are good here, but I wanted to give people an idea of what AT&T has done with their billions and billions of dollars and how it's actually showing. Now, you look at what T-Mobile's doing now with their spending, you can expect to see the same thing. So for the patrons out there, you guys have probably already seen the video. Tim, were you able to catch it?
Not
earlier?
yet.
Okay, so Root Metrics just released like a preliminary report for quarter 1 of 2020, or half 1 of 2020, which it's not even done, but they put out a preliminary report for like 55 markets. They already finished testing for half 1. And T-Mobile only has 2 of the 55 markets where they're a top performer. That means over the last 3 halves, T-Mobile's network is really starting to struggle. So I know exactly what's happening. The market share acquisition is crazy. They just add subs, 1+ million. It's like every quarter. At some point, without the proper spectrum and tower site builds, you knew it was going to happen. So 2 years ago, when T-Mobile started winning some of these awards, everybody was thrilled. They were like, wow, look at this network improvement from T-Mobile. But then as soon as you start bombarding these towers with more and more, and T-Mobile users are heavy data users. They're not callers. They're not texters. They're data users. They're the most data hungry customers. It's been proven in all these different studies. T-Mobile customers use their data, right? Verizon less so. They serve a lot of customers, but only like 17% of the customers are on a limited plan. So Verizon's pressure is just overall network access. T-Mobile's is coming from the fact that they have a lot of customers now. Let's not poo-poo 90 million customers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you, Sneed. When I was at Verizon in my RF engineering doing the root metrics testing in Northern California, root metrics, they're an independent company, but they really put the networks, all 4 networks at the time to the paces. We got to see, how many call drops we had, data failures. We got to see the routes that they drove. We got to see data speeds. We got to see everything from network user perspective and all the test calls that they made and stuff. And I hope T-Mobile gets back in the root metrics game. Right now, they only, they base their network analytics off crowdsourcing, right? Off speed testing, off stuff like that. Me being in engineering, I think it's important, if they want to catch up to and maybe beat Verizon, I would wish they would get back in the root metrics testing game because they have the customers, they got the money to do that now with.
Yeah, I look at the metrics of all these different third party, companies. I don't base my analysis of a wireless carrier strictly on one metric or one testing firm. So I don't look at root metrics and make my decision of what I'm going to use. I don't look at just, open signal. I look at it as a collective. Which carriers, if I'm a consumer and I'm a smart consumer, right? That's what I want to be, is informed. I want to look at the root metrics. I want to look at open signal. I want to look at Ookla. I want to ask around. I want to look at some speed testing from, locations that are around my area. And I'm going to take it as a collective body. So when I look at T-Mobile's scores on root metrics, and I look at how they had more markets 2 years ago where they were top performer, like they shared top performing with Verizon. They shared top performing with AT&T in some markets. They're down to 2 markets out of the 55 they already tested. Do I expect them to get a couple of more through the rest of testing? Sure. But having 4 or 5 of 125 tested markets, that's a decline compared to 2 years ago when they were getting 15 and 25 and 35. They peaked for a while. So when AT&T was down, T-Mobile was ascending. And now we're starting to see the network squeeze, and it's a tough time because they've got the merger. It's not going to get better. It may actually get a little bit more challenging for them. But by the end of the year, I'm expecting like half 2 metrics to be totally different. I mean, this just to me confirms that T-Mobile had to merge to get a better network to truly compete. Look, how much more AWS did they really have? How much more bandwidth that band 71 could really have been deployed?
48% they have left of band 66.
Would that have been enough, Carlos, to keep them competing with Verizon and AT&T moving forward?
Probably for another 3-4 years. That's it. Tops.
Right. But we are always looking long term, right, Caleb?
Yeah, long term.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just think, to me, when I look at these results, they're very preliminary. It just, to me, confirms what T-Mobile was doing. It was smart. They knew they had to merge, because what they got was 50 million customers along with over 200 megahertz of spectrum or something, whatever it is. What do they have, Caleb? They got 160 and 2.5. They got
about 20 megahertz on, but for Sprint, it was like about 10 to 15 megahertz on PCS. It will be 20 to 30 nationwide once the merger is done. And then, we're not counting band 26. So
yeah, so they're pushing about 190, in terms of.
It's about 200 megahertz. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's God, bro, that's a slam dunk. That's an alley-oop for LeBron James, like the merger. It was like the perfect thing. 50 million customers, more revenue, and a legitimate high capacity network that's going to change the game. Right. Big shout out to Gene with another super chat. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Always so generous. Thanks so much for that. And Jar Cohen with the 199 super chat sticker. Whatever it's doing, I'm sure it's some kind of dancing pair or fist bump or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Plus all the spectrum deals that they're doing with all the local ILEX, which is the Columbia Capital, the Channel 51, and all those other rest of them.
So James, thank you for the super chat, sir. Why does my Sprint cell phone drop calls, I'm assuming, for doing in a car? It happens every day. Well, it could be a couple of things. Lucky for you, we actually have an RF engineer. He'll comment. I'll just throw in before he does. Usually when I see dropped calls, it's a bad handoff between tower sites, or it could be a Wi-Fi handoff, like when you're leaving your house. I've had calls drop like that, when they go from Wi-Fi to LTE. Or it could just be a dead spot. Sometimes these tower sites are just too far from each other and you can't hold a call if they're too far away. And topography can affect that, altitude. You got hills in your area. You've got barriers in the way of trajecting a signal. Those are just things that I've noticed. Caleb, you could comment.
It could depend on a lot of factors. You have to know, does it happen in the same spot every time? Is this in different areas? It could be a topography thing to where maybe there's just not enough coverage out there. It could be hilly. It could be just bad handoffs. Like Steve was saying, it could be something. It could be a phone issue too. Sometimes there's people that have gotten maybe some water on their phones that, their motherboard's not working right, or the modem's not working right anymore. It could be a lot of factors. I would have to know, does this happen every single day at the same spot? Is it different places? It's kind of hard. It's hard to, the more accurate details that we have about the situation. For example, I have slow data speeds in this area, or I can't make calls in this area over here. Or for Sneed's, case, for example, I'm in a house where when the antennas are facing at the wrong angle, so I can't get coverage, stuff like that. So, but if you're in a car, that sounds to me like either it's bad handoffs, bad coverage. Maybe we have maintenance going on. I would have to know how long you're having this issue for, and where we're at, stuff like that, and how many times a day.
Yeah, I've seen the dead spots. Where it's just the network's got a spot, for 500 or 1,000 feet, where calls will drop or data connections aren't there. My YouTube video might start buffering or something like that. I've seen that happen all the time. What happened? What just happened, Tim?
Wife's making me a new face mask for work.
Oh, okay.
Just to kidnap me for a second.
I was gonna say, bro, the camera went out. The mic went silent. I was like, "What happened, man?" Cesar Bras with a super chat. Thanks, man. What new plans and perks will we see with T-Mobile? What's the expectations, Tim? Or maybe you could describe it as the rumor mill. Maybe.
So everything about the new T-Mobile is going to be based on more value at a reasonable price. Exactly what that looks like yet, I'm not sure.
So the problem in retail has been that stores are closed. So running a aggressive advertising campaign is for what?
But I know we're going to see some big shifts in May. T-Mobile is going to be gearing a lot of promotions towards what's going on in the country today and try to help, get people in better devices, better plans, and things like that based on the economy.
Does anybody know if like the other stores are opening as far as like the huge 85% like Verizon, AT&T? Anybody?
So May 1st will be 80% open. By May 15th, 95% open. The only locations not reopening will be malls.
Mall stores, yeah.
James followed up. He put the same spot on the west side of Cleveland. Well, it's a dead spot, man. Hopefully they address it either with the network integration process or possibly even a small cell can help. I know that there were a couple of dead spots in some of the suburbs around here for Verizon, and they took care of that pretty quickly. Same thing with AT&T and T-Mobile. They're putting small cells everywhere. They seem to be like the Band-Aid to a lot of issues, whether it's capacity or coverage. They help a lot.
Yeah.
Another thing, like what Caleb was saying, was also your device. Sometimes you just need a phone with better radios. Like I've said about my wife's iPhone, it's fine, but in a place where network signal strength is compromised, fine might not be enough. So getting a phone like a Google Pixel or getting a phone like a Motorola, which are known for having strong radio signal, those can help. It might get you to a point where maybe you're not dropping that call anymore. The radio reception is just a little bit better. So those are things I could recommend looking into, especially if you're due for an upgrade. Look into radio performance to improve on your newer device.
Yeah, it's a huge difference, believe it or not.
I know it for a fact because I could just pull up the not the cell map, or what's the other one, the network signal info, whatever. I can see the dB register. If there's a huge difference between 110 and 130. 130 is the difference between you losing your signal, and having one and not having one. 110, I mean, you'll hold. You won't drop a call, if you got at least that much. Saldana Tech says OnePlus has good radios. So that gives you another option.
They're decent. I mean, anything with Qualcomm is decent. Obviously, we already know iPhone. Steve's mentioned it. Y'all have heard me enough in Discord or on Twitter bashing iPhones because I can't stand them. But
Gus is saying that the 11 Pro has good RF performance.
Yeah.
Bro,
it's doable.
It holds a lot better than
at least
XS.
Yes, the 11 Pro is a lot better than the 8, 9, the X. It's that I will give it to.
The nice thing is the Pro and Pro Max. At least it has 4x4 MIMO technology.
Yes.
The iPhone 11 and below, you're on 2x2.
Well, actually, that's the one. Oh, go ahead, Carlos. I'm sorry.
And no, I'm just saying 2x2 sucks, bro. You're missing out on a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about that technology, when networks got access to 4x4, that changed capacity completely.
Exactly.
And we talk about carrier aggregation. I'm looking at the breakdown of these AT&T metrics. So AT&T is killing half one on root metrics. They are absolutely right there with Verizon. It's almost split down the middle. Those 55 markets, they're either tied for first or they're sharing the same amount of first place finishes. So why? What is it that AT&T is doing different right now than they weren't doing a year ago or 2 years ago? It's 4x4 MIMO and it's 5 carrier aggregation. You can't average median download speeds of 80 megabits per second in large markets without that. You get what I'm saying?
Small cells.
Sure.
A lot of small cells, bro.
But it's not 5G, bro. People are saying, literally, they're saying that it's because of their low band 5G. Since when did 5 or 10 megahertz of spectrum all of a sudden bump every market up? And they only have it in certain markets.
I can speak to that a little bit, and also the MIMO thing. So all the carriers at a minimum are doing 4x4 MIMO. The radio heads that we've been, have been putting up have been 4x4 MIMO at the minimum. So it doesn't really do, I mean, I understand, price conscious customers, but it doesn't really do a bit of good to get a 2x2 MIMO phone. So when if you're looking at a 4x4 MIMO and a multiple in, multiple out, you have 4 simultaneous data streams, 4 transmit, 4 receive, coming to your phone. That gives you, especially if you have the upgraded bandwidth, like a 15 megahertz or a 20 megahertz channel, right? So so what that means is you have 4 data streams, transmit and receive at 20 megahertz bandwidth, what have you, coming to your phone that your phone will support. So it's very important if you are looking to upgrade a phone, like Snee was saying earlier, make sure it has that 4x4 MIMO capability, because that's going to give you the best data connection and the best throughput.
And then we got massive MIMO right around the corner and already in some markets, which is 64 by 64.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about the capacity of what it's bringing to the table, there are people that say things like, my phone connection is slow. Well, there's probably 2 culprits, because there are people in your market that aren't complaining of slow speeds. There's 2 culprits. You're either missing LTE bands, whether it's a device compatibility issue or whatever the case may be, or it's just an outdated chipset where the modems don't support the multiple connections and what Caleb was talking about. You can't expect to have an iPhone 6. You complain about data speeds with an iPhone 6? How could you complain about data speeds? You haven't upgraded your device in 5 or 6 or 7 generations. Like, it's gone from iPhone 6 to 6S to 7 to 8, to the 10S, to now the 11. Or if you're talking about Samsung, if you have an S7, you've got 2 carrier aggregation, probably. I don't know. Was that the 820? I'm trying to think back to when that was. Might be getting 3 carrier.
I don't even remember.
I got a friend that has a Galaxy S7, and I'm about ready just to buy her a new phone myself, because I can't stand how horrible it is.
You don't. Here's the thing. There's a misconception. They have to spend a lot of money to get an updated, tech spec phone. If you are 1 year behind your flagship devices, you are still in good shape. Still. So, like, say, for example, if you bought a phone right now with an 845 chipset from 2 years ago, you're still getting 3 carrier aggregation. You get what I'm saying? At least you're still getting that, If you go 1 year back, a flagship like an 855, right? That would be from 2019. Right now, you can get an S10 Plus used for like $300. New for like $400. eBay, Swappa. I mean, there's so many different platforms. None of them pay me, so I'm just giving you guys ideas here. But Amazon, $450, brand new warranty, the whole 9. That's tech that is 1 year old, that is going to give you 90% of the LTE connectivity of what the phones will have this year.
And it's better than an S20 Ultra, I'll tell you that much.
And that one's, $1,400. Yeah, it's not money well spent. But why? But I don't like the crowd that says things like, go and get the mid-range. No, do not go and get the mid-range. Because
you don't want to do that.
The mid-range is going to get you in two carrier aggregation with a Snapdragon 6 series chip. Don't do that. And you're going to be at category, what's the category LTE on a 6 series chip? 12?
I thought it was 14.
I thought it was 12 or 14.
14,
okay.
I think.
But we're at 22 for the flagships.
Because as much as I love my Pixel 4 XL, it's 4x4. It's a Cat 18 chip, and I'm limited at 5x5 on carrier or the 5 carrier ag.
I mean, the cell phone technology, the chipsets and everything, the modems, it changes just as much as a clothing store, if you think about it.
Yep.
New American Eagle.
Yeah. Now,
I say OnePlus is the best phones to have, bro. Straight up, man.
I'm telling you, for RF, the Google Pixel 5.
I don't know, bro. I have my OnePlus 7 McLaren, bro, and especially when I put the AT&T chip in it, it's beast, dude. I get way better speeds than I do even with my S20 Ultra, bro. Way better. Like, I'm talking about almost double.
I can believe that.
Double.
Yeah, I mean, the OnePlus does have that X65 and the X55 modem.
Bro, just a beast, dude. And
Yeah.
anything OnePlus and it's close to vanilla based Android.
Yeah, OnePlus is a little bit closer to stock than what Samsung is.
Yeah. So if you had to choose, Tim, right now between it's either OnePlus or an S20.
OnePlus, hands down.
Okay, yeah.
I wouldn't even think twice.
Hey Carlos, I was reading some reports on YouTube that stinking Moto Edge Plus is only going to be a single SIM, bro. It's not going to have eSIM. No, only one IMEI number.
What?
And I'm telling you, Caleb, don't be surprised because that phone was pushed to Verizon for a reason.
No, I know. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing,
Sure.
but it is what it is.
But look, if you're willing to bite the bullet, I'm telling you, the OnePlus is your best option. I know you're not a fan, but I mean, unless you're holding out for the Google Pixel. But if I'm talking 865,
no,
I'm waiting for the Pixel 5, and then I'll base my decision.
I am going to get the Pixel 5 for sure. That's not that up. But I'm thinking about actually getting a Verizon line. I'm really thinking about doing it, just like a $35 Verizon line just for myself.
Hey, let me know, bro. I still have a spare old.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
The old school one.
This way I can have all three carriers. And
but the old school one, those won't get the 5G access.
Yeah, it does for $10 more.
Yeah, the add-on. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that. Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
It's still cheaper than
sure
the new plan.
Jesse, to answer your question, Motorola is actually an Android One stock OEM.
Yep.
Shout out to Lou Don. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
That's the one thing I like about Motorola, man. Honestly, it's very, very stock Android. The only thing they add is the Moto gestures.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those Moto gestures are actually cool.
They're
useful.
Bro, I love like to take a screenshot of the phone. I just wave my hand across and it takes a screenshot.
I'm so used to the shake your hand twice, turn on the flashlight.
Yep. Exactly. It's awesome, dude.
You know something? I
kind of turn on the camera.
I kind of see this in the future. There's going to be more phone gestures like that. Like if you, for example, I know how that you can turn your phone all the way down to not answer a call. Shake the flashlight twice. There's going to be more gestures like that. There's going to be like, if you spin your phone around 5 times, it'll do this.
Yep. But the one thing I will say before we get off of phones, if you do not have a Band 71 phone, you're pretty much going to be screwed on the new T-Mobile because that's going to be our main band. You don't have it, you're going to be SOL as far as connectivity.
Okay, so it's a coverage band in most cases. It is a capacity band in some cases. It's an NR band moving forward. It's an LTE band moving forward. I mean, it's going to be their most important connection once everything gets decommed from TV and it's completely deployed.
But this is the one issue, though, man. Rural America, bro. I like I said the other day, I went to the Doobie Farm, bro, between the Pahrump and Nevada border, the Nevada California border right there. I literally went up there, bro, and I even asked the farmers there, bro, and I asked them, I was like, "Who's your main provider here?" Because they were just outside, checking the stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So they were like Verizon. And I was like, well, why? Then they're like, yeah, because if we have AT&T or T-Mobile, we have to walk 5 steps here, make a left. Like they knew, bro. Like they told me, they were like, get your T-Mobile phone right now, walk 5 steps up, make a left, do 2 steps, turn to the right, and you'll get a signal.
Man, listen, Carlos.
Band 71.
Let me tell you something, bro. I've been following wireless telecoms a long time. Okay, we're about the same age. We've had these providers for a long time. The one thing I can tell you for sure right now, with 100% certainty, is the T-Mobile now is different, and you could just tell in the way they're operating. And here's what I mean: they've never talked about the network before. It's never been the focus of the company. It's been customer care. It's been the perks. It's been T-Mobile Tuesdays. It's been Binge on Us. It's been Netflix. It's been everything except the network. It is now the most important component of what they're selling you. So I know you're disappointed. I know there's things that you wish they would improve upon in rural. But I'm telling you, man, the network is going to change. That's all I hear and see from T-Mobile right now.
We're coming after John Stanky.
The only way. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. The only way they're even gonna compete, bro, in rural coverage is match par and par with Verizon. Only way.
And it's going to be tough. They're going to have to do it organically on their own because it doesn't look like Mike Sievert wants to get in with anybody. Unless he does it with Dish, which I doubt. Dish is going to do anything rural.
He's a fool, bro. He needs to just get in on this agreement, bro. It'll
what if they don't want him?
T-Mobile.
But what if they don't want him in? You can't look at it like that. What if the doors don't open for him? What if they don't? That offer is not there, bro. Listen, look, I've had a YouTube channel for almost 3 years. I can count on one hand how many people I've collaborated with. The door is never open for me, bro. I had to kick in doors. You get what I'm saying, bro? Just because you want to do stuff with people doesn't mean they're going to be willing to accept you and do it with you.
But the thing, Sneed, is Sievert, he's a businessman.
He is.
T-Mobile has over 200 megahertz of spectrum right now that they need to deploy at a rapid rate.
Sure.
Why not throw something on the table, offer extended agreements, help us roll out, just like what they're doing with Verizon right now, AT&T and Verizon. It ain't that hard, bro. You know that I was actually looking up at some of this stuff. I'll send you some stuff later. You know that Verizon's helping AT&T pay some of this shit, right? They're helping them pay some of these small cell deployments.
Yep.
Yeah. So come on, man. Come on, bro. It's simple science, simple business, man. If you really are a businessman, like you say you're going to, that you say you are, it'd be best for the business to do it so then they could, in 1 year, they could have, let's say, 120 megahertz of that spectrum already rolled out in a year or less because they'll have the money.
Yeah, but I see the money getting spent, Carlos. It's happening. Like I don't know exactly what it would take for you other than when the network is finally completed and you actually test it in those places and see that it's changed. That's the only way you're getting convinced. I know you. Right? But all we're getting is indications of the CapEx from T-Mobile has done nothing but increase as they've adjusted to every single change they've made on the network side.
They migrated a few Band 25 towers when I was driving on the way to Tonopah. Okay. All right, they used to be Sprint only, and I guess now now Sprint is officially roaming now out of nowhere, and it says Band 25 for it says T-Mobile 25.
T-Mobile,
okay. Yeah. So tell me why in those spots it used to be so good, and now it literally like it's hiccuping.
Okay,
and then you got them. They got no service there, bro. Or on their coverage map it says they got service. They don't even got service, bro. It's on USA Comnet.
I think T-Mobile, they're going to do a lot of stuff organically. They will. I personally do not think there's more deals to be made. They're going to do more deals. This is just not a Sprint merger and they're going to be done. Okay, that I know for a fact. They're going to strike some deals with somebody to help their network. We don't know what that is yet, but
we're expecting the Chantel deal to wrap up.
Huh?
We're expecting the Chantel deal to wrap up.
Right.
That fixes a big Appalachian area.
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Right. But in Ohio, yeah. I think they're gonna in the future they're gonna they're not done with the Sprint merger. They're just gonna do more deals.
Bro, just like Joshua just reminded me right now. 30-foot tower versus 300-foot Verizon tower next to each other. They were literally right next there. 30, 300.
Where is there a 30-foot tower?
Dude, the other night when I was driving out there.
Carlos, you're not exaggerating, bro. 30-foot tower.
I think it's probably about 60, maybe 60 feet.
Bro, no way.
Was it a small cell?
That thing, bro. Those are the towers I see here in Vegas, bro. That same size.
30 feet, bro.
No, I don't know, man. The lowest red center that I've seen is about 49 feet.
Bro, we looked at the FCC filings. We had Greg and everybody on the Periscope. We were looking at FCC filings, bro.
30.
I want to go back and watch that one.
Like I said, 30 versus 300.
God.
In rural
I would
America.
hate to be the RF engineer that.
Who's going up there, dog?
Bro, every tower I went across rural America was at least 150 footer, at least.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah. Big shout out to Vlad with the question here. Biggest real world compromise going with a 765 or A65? It's I'd say probably double the bandwidth potential. When you look at the millimeter wave connection or the sub 6, there's just so much more throughput on the 865. So, I mean, if 5G is not a priority at this point, and you're just like, I'll have it to have it, then you go with the 765 and save yourself a couple $100, maybe $300 actually. So real world compromise is really the money and a little bit of a bandwidth issue or difference between the two.
Processor performance too.
Oh, true.
Yeah, the 865 maybe, at least on paper, twice as fast.
Kyle, thank you for your super chat. I would love to answer your question. I know absolutely nothing about that phone. The Sony Xperia Mark II LTE compact. I don't know anything about that device.
I've never heard of it.
It's got it's a pretty good device. It reminds me, as far as from like a compatibility standpoint, kind of like a OnePlus is. It just doesn't have band 14.
So it's almost, well, anytime a phone is missing an LTE band from a carrier, I no longer consider it a world unlocked phone.
Right.
You know, you want like if you're the type of person that is going to be running with two SIM cards like eSIM and then Nano SIM, you're going to run two different carriers. Obviously, AT&T may be one of them, you know, and T-Mobile may be one of them. You're going to want all bands, all hands on deck if you're going dual SIM. So in that case, I don't know. Be mindful, especially if it's not for North America.
Bro, there's a lot of states like in Utah, bro. Band 14 is the main band for AT&T.
Hey, when I was doing
band you connect to
that speed testing I did in my most recent video, I was connected to band 14 70% of the time once I left my home area. They just upgraded a ton of sites. More than half had band 30. More than 70% had band 14. At least 5 megahertz. At least 5. Some areas it was 10. Some areas it was 15. You know, I couldn't believe it.
Band.
Wow. So what band 71 is to T-Mobile, I think is what like band 14 and 12 is for AT&T, how they kind of combine it, you know, as that 700 megahertz.
Yeah.
And like Verizon's, band 13, same thing. Try to get Carlos back in here.
Yeah.
Should I trade my OnePlus 7T for an LG V60? If the 5G access is meaningful to you, then sure. I don't know what they'll give you for a trade. I don't know who your carrier is. I'm going to assume it's T-Mobile. So, I
would hang on to that 7T. That 7T was a really good phone.
I liked it.
Yeah, same here. I love mine.
I'm kind of curious for the audience members what they actually do with their phone. I wonder how many percentage are content creators, how many people do use it for business, how many people just do personal stuff or like Instagram or what have you. So I'm kind of curious
for anybody who's just wants to be up on radio tech and they're upgrading every year, then our recommendations and suggestions don't really matter. But for somebody who's investing long term, I always like to give them the best thing available for them. So that's why it's a wait and see. We have to wait and see what we get out of the Pixel. Seriously, because I know what we got out of the S20. Anybody who's into radio technology right now, the S20 is the only option.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you reasons not to get the V60. I can give you reasons not to buy the OnePlus 8. I can give you reasons not to buy the Moto Edge. The only thing I could say is a problem with the S20 Plus and the Ultra, I mean, they're just expensive as hell. That's really it. But if you're just talking radio access, they have it all. You're getting millimeter wave. You're getting all the sub 6. You're getting all the LTE. You're getting everything. I mean, if you had a good trade-in from your carrier or Samsung, then yeah, you're getting in pretty good. I think Bobby. Did I get Bobby's super chat? Bobby Doan. Here it is. Which phone? And thank you for the super chat, Bobby. Which phone will be the best 5G phone in 2020 for T-Mobile and Verizon? The jury's out. We got to wait and see. It could potentially be the Google Pixel 5, based on its potential to pretty much have every LTE band and being millimeter wave and sub 6. If that's it, that's the phone.
The things I think would give automatically the Pixel 5 unlocked, it's going to be Feye capable. So it's automatically going to support US Cellular, Sprint, and T-Mobile full spectrum. You already know it's going to be on Verizon's network. There's your millimeter wave. And it's also going to be on AT&T. There's your band 14, band 30.
That's what we're hoping for. If it's, I'm going to be super disappointed if it's not, because we've been waiting for a phone other than a Galaxy that can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep buying phones and be disappointed. Like I want to buy a V60 and I'm being held back because if I'm buying it, I have to buy it from Verizon to get millimeter wave access. But then it's locked for 2 months, so I can't put my T-Mobile SIM card in it.
AT&T has millimeter wave, the AT&T one.
Okay, so that one also has band 14.
Yeah.
Okay, because
so Verizon
one doesn't.
We're gonna order it. Got it?
What?
Yeah, we're gonna order it. You got it, bro?
Okay, what do I need to trade in?
Well, what does the shirt say?
Pickle Rick.
There you go.
Yeah. Where's our Pickle Rick shirts?
Pickle Rick, baby.
I didn't get that right away. Oh no.
Hey, look at the Pickle Rick right there, bruh. Straight up.
Oh,
hey,
God.
Morty. Come on, Morty.
No, dude.
Let's FaceTime continuum, Morty.
Oh. Charles is tripping. Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of wait and see. I don't know.
The only thing I haven't been able to find anything on, and my Google reps hasn't gotten back to me about C-band. So I'm wondering if
C-band would be nice.
If he can't find out.
The C-band would be really nice. Caleb, you and I are on the same page on that.
Definitely. It's going to be gravy, man. Like you got 3 bands, 77, 70, and 79.
So when they describe those 3 bands, are they going to be different segments of the C-band?
Yes. So band 77 is your lower, band 78 is your mid-band C-band, and then band 79 is your upper C-band.
Are we going from 3.7 to 4.2?
Yeah, it's 3.7 to it's either 3.7 to 4 or 3.7 to 4.2. Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but yeah, it's good.
Like I said, man, if somebody's going to spend a stack, $1,000, it'd be nice to future-proof. Standalone, all 3 types of 5G, all the LTE for all carriers, dual SIM with eSIM, and then C-band kind of puts the icing on the cake. So I don't have to upgrade for a couple of years.
Yeah, the C-band, we're doing a small cells and tower work with it too, so it's going to be good.
Here's the thing about C-band. Expect Verizon to have it end of 2021, which means other carriers, probably early to mid 2022. So I know it seems far away. That's a year and a half. But hell, man, like a year and a half, you may still have that phone. I don't know. Not everybody's into buying a phone every year. Maybe somebody updates every 2 years, 3 years.
And regardless, like if you buy a Google phone or an Apple phone, Apple guarantees 5 years of iOS updates. Google guarantees 3 years.
Right. I'm probably going to keep my Pixel 5 for probably about a good maybe 3 to 5 years.
I always tell people, even when you're done with your Pixel, like after a couple years, you're like, oh, I want to get a new phone. Get a new phone, but keep your Pixel. Like you could keep it for another 2 years probably, still get the security patches, and you'll have a legitimate secondary phone. Just keep it. You just never know when you'll need it. Thanks for the PayPal donation, Lawrence. I appreciate you, man. I don't know. I didn't get the notification, so that's why I didn't see it. I'm sorry, man, but thank you so much for that. Yeah, I got it, man. Thank you. The vapor.
Or you end up doing like me, like my Pixel 3 right now. It's running the Android 11 developer, and man, is it nice.
Oh, and that's another thing you could do, right? You could download the newest versions, the beta testers, for the newest operating systems, which is pretty
They
sweet.
just released beta 3, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It's not even in beta yet. It's in developer. And even in developer, it's already stable.
It's pretty nice.
Robert, thank you for the generous super chat. Thank you, man. Sneed and Gang, love the podcast. Caleb, could we get a T-Mobile engineer from the Miami, Florida area? Would love to get updates and info for around my area. So I don't know if you can call shots like that, Robert, but I appreciate the super chat, man.
Robert, unfortunately, the Miami, Florida is not my area yet.
Could be.
I'm looking to move to Florida though, but maybe if I get another engineering position down there, that can help you out. But my area is Los Angeles, and I know we're doing some work down there in Florida though, from what I hear. So just stay. We'll keep you, we'll try to keep you updated, but I know we're doing some work down there.
I know there have been some issues in Florida. I don't know about Miami, but I think it was Feye was having trouble in Jacksonville.
Yeah, there's been some issues in Miami that last time I looked, but we're trying to get those resolved. I know it's supposed to be some ongoing RF issue that they're working on that I keep on seeing in emails.
Hey, I'll say this, Lou Don. Pixels are ugly phones. They are ugly. There is nothing. Bro, first of all, let me say this. The next person who says a phone is sexy, you need help. There is no such thing as a sexy phone. There's something clinically wrong about that statement. Bro, it's an inanimate object that breaks when you drop it. That is not sexy. Okay, the iPhone's not sexy. The Galaxies aren't sexy. The LGs. There is nothing sexy about a smartphone. They should be industrial. They should have large batteries, and they should be useful as a tool. Stop with the madness. All right, no more sexy talk about smartphones.
Oh, my beautiful screen.
The only reason why, bro, is because probably they used it for their
oh no, Carlos. Oh no, I know where
dedicated pleasures.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I got to retract that statement because the immersive glow on the OnePlus is sexy. Dude, come on.
Okay, stop it.
It changes colors.
Come on.
There's no such thing as a sexy smartphone. Just enough. Blasphemous. It's over. It cannot happen, bro. We're talking about a smartphone. We're going to use the same descriptive term for people, for smartphones. What?
Siri was my girlfriend for the past 2 years, man.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh, man.
I'm just
kidding. Wow.
Hey, thanks, Robert, for the second super chat, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Glad we could help you if we could. Thank you, man. Yeah, for those of you watching this right now on the replay, big shout out to the replay crew and those of you in the live chat. Hashtag no too sexy. All right, there is no such thing as a sexy smartphone. Hashtag no too sexy. That is horrible. Bro, like seriously, when somebody says that, look at this gorgeous phone and they start twisting it and doing these angles. Stop it. You have problems, Oh, come on, Sebi. Really? Really? You did it with the super chat, so I had to show it?
Dang.
Sebi is literally the worst, bro.
It's something. If you listen to the PR people on the phone reveals when they're doing that, those are all public relations people that have to say, "Oh, this phone's so great," or "Oh, blah, blah, blah."
This phone feels so good in the hand.
The immersive bright colors of forest green. What the frick?
It's crazy. It's great. It's a word that I would never associate with a phone. I just, I haven't. I don't know, man. Like, okay, the BlackBerry is sexy. That I could say that because it has keys, hardware keys. Seriously, bro. And the iPhone is not sexy. I'm so sick of fixing broken iPhones. To me, they're not sexy anymore at all whatsoever. What's up, Ronald? $5 super chat, my dude. Thank you. Hoping the new T-Mobile deploys all 2.5 in NYC.
Should be getting it now.
I was gonna say, what do we have for a deployment rate for like full network? Like, so there's 160 megahertz national. Like, at what point do they hit that in New York City? Because at some point they will.
I know.
What do you think, Caleb?
I think they're going to do at least 100 right now for the integration.
Yeah.
Once they're all done, I can actually check. Once the engineers in New York are done, I can actually check. So stay tuned on that. But I know my buddy Tim is working hard up there.
But Caleb, New York is the type of city that you could have all 160 megahertz deployed there and tons of tower sites, and you'd still be getting like 300 megabits per second.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what they're doing up there because each market is different. So like from national, like the national RF engineers, they take certain, like they'll take the East Coast or the West Coast or the Southern Coast, whatever. They kind of do it like that. So it just depends. But yeah, stay tuned. So once it's all done, I'll definitely look out for it.
Yeah, it's one of those markets that needs it. Chicago, New York, South Beach, LA, Houston. Yeah. These larger markets with tons of people. Dallas, I'm assuming as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyways, that's it. That's all I wanted to cover. I know we got 160 in the live, but that's it. Here's the hashtag. If you're a real one and you watch this all the way through, hashtag phones ain't sexy. All right. Hashtag phones ain't sexy. If you're a real one, you'll hashtag that. Enough of the nonsense. Stop the blasphemy. Thank you guys for watching. Before you guys get to going, please do like this video, share it. That helps out the channel a lot. I appreciate you guys for doing that. The description box has links. The SMT Patreon page, the second channel, Sneed Mobile Tech live streams. Also, the Twitter handle at Sneed Tech, and the Megadon.net invite code is there. The social media platform of the future. Never need another social media platform ever again. No ads, no algorithms, no tracking. Megadon.net. No, phones ain't sexy, bruh. All right. Big shout out to MT Houston, Texas. I called my S10 Plus gorgeous this morning. I guess that's better than the woman in the news who fell in love with a lamb. What is that? What is happening in this world? Yes.
Wow,
hashtag
bro.
Phones are tools, bro. Yes, I like that one.
Yes, they are tools.
Anyways, Tim, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, man. Always
No
being
problem,
willing and able. Thank you, Caleb, for being on and letting us harass you about the network. It's always fun.
You're welcome.
Carlos, you're the big homie. We appreciate you being here, man, and giving us, giving us the perspective of a guy who travels all over the U.S. and keeps it real. We appreciate you, man.
Try to, man.
And big shout out to Trail Boy Gaming with the super chat. Is New York City going to be a test market on Boost Mobile? Not that I know of, man. I do know of some test markets. New York's not on the list, man. I can tell you right now, Pittsburgh is. There you go. There's a little teaser for you, right? Spoiler alert: Pittsburgh, PA is going to be the first one. They're starting this week, actually. I got a lot of news on Dish. I'm gonna do a video this week, actually. Anyways, it's Ramadan. I have to go eat. Y'all be cool. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your tech, and be safe out there and stay healthy. We'll be doing a live stream at some point this week. If we need one before Friday, we'll do one. Stay posted. Keep it locked to the SMT YouTube channel. Subscribe and activate the bell notification icon if you haven't already. Carlos, you doing anything tonight? Periscope, Twitter, anything?
Probably. Yeah.
Subscribe to Carlos's or follow Carlos on Twitter. What's going to be the topic, Los? What are you doing? Who are you terrorizing this time?
I don't know, bro.
You got to go to a boost store?
Bro. Nah, bro.
Oh, Carlos, I actually have to call you, man. Give me a minute of your time after this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, boys. Good for the good of the order. Anything?
Nope.
We good?
Time to grab something to eat.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Xena with the super chat. Phones are sexy. Oh my god.
Oh,
I don't know if you're gonna win that battle, Sneed. I don't know, man.
I'm done. I'm done. All right. In the illustrious words of Carlton Banks, make like a tree and leaf. All right, we out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.